This is the Big Friendly Swim podcast, and today's guest was a first-time World Championship team member this summer. Chris Guiliano, how are you?
Doing really well. How are you?
Doing really well, thanks. So, Chris, we're gonna jump right into World Championship training first. First of all, I'm curious if you could talk about the actual training camp leading into Fukuoka. I said that probably not great. What were like the preparations like, and walk me through like any of the memorable moments that you had as like a first time member of like a senior international team.
Yeah, it was outstanding. Everything except for the flight. That was my first time. That was my first time going international, going outside of the country. So, from that point of view, it was really really cool. But definitely a very tough flight. Just had to constantly get up and keep moving around. Just make sure I was feeling good when I walked off. But but the training camp itself, it was just a great environment, just being around all these people and great athletes and being able to like form these relationships that I never would have imagined just like 2 years ago. Like I walk on deck these days and I'm able to like just say hello to everybody. And it's just really, really awesome. It kind of feels like a whole new world has kind of opened up. But the most memorable thing from the camp was probably actually getting up, suiting up, and racing Ryan Held. Just like in an effort, just to see where we were at before heading out to Fukuoka, and that was just really awesome to be able to do. And it just kind of that's kind of when everything settled in and was just like, all right, like let's do this. I'm ready to go. So
It kind of cemented for you of like, I'm here, like I'm doing this, I'm on this team.
exactly, yeah.
So, what did it mean for you to break out on the international stage? Because obviously, Notre Dame is a great sports school. There's a lot of like, I'm pretty sure football is like a big sport at Notre Dame,
Mhm.
but hasn't been a lot of international success in swimming. There's been two other people, one in open water and one on a short course worlds team in 2014. But what did it mean for you to break out onto a long course stage, especially in the year before the Olympics?
Yeah, it means everything. I committed to Notre Dame, and I really wanted to cement a legacy here. And I think that it just meant so much to me to be able to accomplish that and potentially accomplish greater accomplishments down the line. But I think this really set the foundation, and with the new coaching staff, not new coaching staff anymore, but um, this is their second year. I've only worked with them for a little over a year now, and it's just everything I could have asked for, and like it's just a huge culture shift within our program, and it's just everything I could have asked for, and like just leading up into that meet, like I knew I was ready, and I was kind of given this underdog role, like heading into finals. I swam really well in the morning. It was like about a second drop there in the morning at nationals, and nobody really picked me to make the team or anything before the meet. And I knew I was able to. I knew I had it in me to go out there and to make the squad. So um, seeing my teammates, my coaches, seeing their reactions, it's incredible. I go back and I watch the 100 free final, and at the end of the race, they pan over to my teammates and like our team area, and they're just going bananas. So it's just really cool to go back and like watch all their reactions. So
What was it like when you got out of the water and you were like going to your teammates after the race? Like what were the emotions you guys had? Like what was that feeling like being able to share it with them after you'd gotten out of the water?
yeah, I mean, I don't really, honestly, I don't really think it hit me as much as I thought it would have. Walking back to the team area, it was definitely like uh just like obviously like seeing their reactions really made it set in a little bit more. But and like what I was able to do. So, but it didn't really hit me. It didn't really hit me for a while, for quite a while, to be honest. So
It's one of those things where it like almost feels too surreal that it's actually happening.
exactly.
When did it like finally hit you, and when did those emotions come in, like, or the feeling of like, oh my god, I made this team?
Probably when I had to pack within the week. But I wasn't able to sleep that night either. I was up. I had the 200 free the next morning, and I just did not sleep well heading into that. So it was just like all the adrenaline, just kicking in. So
Did you end up going to best time of the two free the next day from that adrenaline?
yeah, I did actually. I was able to get the trials cut. So
Oh, nice.
finally, I was finally able to go under 150 there. So
So, leading into the summer's World Championship trials, like in the year before it, if you could talk about like if there's anything you can think of, like specific points in your training where you're like, this helped me or this helped me, like specific sets or practice days, just anything that made you feel like, okay, I've got a shot at this.
mhm. we well, after NCAA's, it was just a straight long course. And that's something I've never done in my life before until this past summer. So I would like to think that contributed to a lot of the success seen over the summer. Was just being able to actually have the pool availability to swim long course. I think that kind of took my swimming to the next level. We went to a meet at IUPUI for the Indy Spring Cup, and I I took a lot of things away from that meet. Just working on my stroke, working on my breath, and just kind of finding like a more efficient stroke. And that was a big takeaway before heading into nationals.
You know, it was pretty awesome watching that specific 100 freestyle final because it was almost entirely new faces. I mean, even
Mhm.
people who didn't make the team, like McDuff, I think is his last name.
Yeah.
Like also went like 48 too, so he'll be in the conversation next summer. It's it's just added to like this loaded 100 freestyle field that the US has now of like, yeah, we've got Caleb Dressel, American record holder, but we've also got like Jack Alexi went 47.3, went 47.9, split 47.7 on a relay.
Mhm.
So it's like the field just keeps getting more and more deep. It kind of gives me hope that like that 400 free relay world record might finally go down.
Yeah, really. That's been up there for a little too long. But
I mean, it's a legendary world record, but like I just
it's
want to see it
incredible.
go.
It's incredible. But yeah, I agree. There's a lot of young talent coming up, and I think it's really good to see. I think this past year there were a lot of question marks surrounding this event on the American side, and I think we're plugging in these gaps, and I think we have a lot of guys elevating, like just all throughout the age groups. So
It definitely throughout the age groups have seen like this past week at like California sectionals that kid Luka Mijatovic went like 4:15 in the 500 free, and I'm like, that would qualify for the B final at NCAA's last year. That would have put him 16th.
wow,
It's crazy like how fast all these kids are getting. It's
yeah,
gonna
I
be
agree.
like a
I agree.
dogfight next summer.
Yep.
Um, so talk me through the actual week of World Championships. Like 400 free relay and your individual 100 free. What went well, and then what do you think like there is to improve upon for hopefully a future international experience?
Yeah, it was a pretty frustrating week, uh, just like racing wise. I feel like I didn't really prepare myself as much as I would have liked to. I just it didn't it just didn't feel like I was present. Like I wasn't like in the right state of mind before my races. I was able to get on the finals relay there in the 4x1. And I mean, that was, I was really happy with that decision, obviously. But just to be able to like have a second chance and give it another go in that relay, be able to have the experience to swim in the finals, in a finals relay like that, um, I think is very critical. And I just think like I wasn't able to get into like my typical routine before a race. So, I think as we move forward, I think there's some things there I could definitely improve on. And then heading into the individual, definitely did not perform as much as I would have liked to. Um, I missed semis, but I think I would have really enjoyed having that experience there to be able to try and manage a prelims, semis, and possibly a final swim. I think that would have been an awesome experience to really like set like a foundation because I've never really done anything like that before. And
It was a phenomenally fast 100 freestyle field this summer too.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, at Ohio State at midseason, I was able to go like 4 tenths, 5 tenths faster than I went at Worlds. So I don't really know what to think of that. I'd like to think it's just like that continual progression that I've had throughout my career. So I think that gives me a lot of confidence moving into the new year.
It also part of it probably is just the experience of racing internationally. It
Mm.
like I've noticed like because I'm a huge swim nerd in my spare time. I don't know if you've noticed, but I like to look at like for people who are swimming on their first Olympic team or their first World Championship team, like it affects people differently.
Mm.
So like 48.3 though, at least this year, it probably would have made semifinals every other year World Championships, and I'm pretty sure it would have made semifinals at the Olympics. It just happened to be like a phenomenally fast. Like I think it took 47.9 to even make the final,
Oh,
or something
yeah.
like that. Something crazy, something really fast.
All right. Thanks for trying to boost me up a little bit.
So after this summer and heading into this NCAA season, what's next for you? How did this summer build your confidence, and how did it set you up in your opinion for Olympic trials in June?
Yeah, it gives me a ton of confidence moving forward. Even just now, like every time I step up on the block now, like whether it's just like at a dual meet or like some like a meet like the U.S. Open or like my midseason meet, it's just like I'm really confident in my abilities now, where maybe I wasn't so uh, just a year ago. And I think that really bodes well as we head into like a bigger meet like like Olympic trials, and just kind of just put my experience from this past summer in the back of my mind, and just know that I'm capable of doing it. I mean, I qualified second this past year. Um, so I think that gives me a lot of confidence moving forward. And like I mentioned, like each year I've shown that I've been able to improve dramatically. So I think just keeping that in my head as well is just really really important. So
I mean, you were also able to get your hand on the wall first and in a pretty dramatic fashion. I mean, you went 47.98, and I think like third place was 99, fourth place was 48.0,
yeah,
fifth place like 48.08. So you got
insanely
your hand on the
close.
wall, especially like up in lane one. You weren't next to any of those guys.
Right, but I think that was also really really critical. Being able to come home, and I breathed to that side, so I was able to see everyone coming home. I think that definitely pushed me a little more.
People underestimate those outside lanes and what you can do from them.
I agree. I agree.
All right, Chris. Well, that's just about everything I've got for you. But before we go, I always give time at the end of each interview for the person I'm talking to promote something of their choice or talk about anything that they'd like. It's basically just you've got the floor. Feel free to say whatever you want.
Oh boy. I just want to thank you for having me. This is definitely a great opportunity to talk to you. This is definitely something I would like to improve on is like my interviews and stuff like that. But I can't wait I can't wait to next year. I'm really hoping I give it my best shot next year. So I think put my head to the grindstone is just gonna be I love it. I love this sport. I'm really passionate about what I do, and I can't see what the future holds for me. So